Your purpose comes from your pain. People often ask me, Evan, how do I find my purpose? How do I find my passion? How do I find what I'm meant to do? It's the number one question that I keep getting asked over and over and over again. And it's a fairly simple answer. It's why I wrote Built to Serve, because your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggled the most with as a human is what you want to help other people through. And again, it's not some physical pain that you went through. You know, I broke my neck in 2019 in 2 spots. That's not the kind of pain. It's the emotional pain. It's when did you feel the most worthless? When did you feel like giving up? When did you feel like you brought no value to the world? When did you feel like throwing it all away? Like with those moments. When did you feel maybe that your life had no value? You know, when did you feel that? When did you feel like you weren't going to be able to get through? Understand that there are millions of people right now who are struggling with the same thing, who are facing those same questions, who don't know what to do. And they could look to you as someone who's done it, who's come through. You represent hope. You represent inspiration. You represent a new model. You represent the fact that if you could do it, maybe they can too. It doesn't mean that you figured it all out. This is where we get to, imposter syndrome. We're like, who am I to be able to do this and have this big impact and have a great reach? Who am I to be that person? You don't have to pretend like you've got it all figured out. You don't. But you know a lot more than what you used to know. You're way further ahead than you used to be. You can help the person you were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And an exercise I often give people is, if you're struggling with imposter syndrome, imagine, just close your eyes and just imagine that you're sitting there talking to yourself. You see yourself from 10 years ago sitting there on a park bench. You see them clearly. See yourself clearly sitting there on a park bench. And you're in the middle of whatever the worst thing that happened in your life was. That worst moment. You're in the middle of it right now. Could you today go sit down? You're going to go sit down to the person who you used to be. Could you share anything that would help that person? Could you give them an affirming message? Could you give them some hope? Could you give them some strategies? Could you make them feel a little bit better? Could you make them feel like they're not going to stay here forever? Could you show them a path? Of course. Of course you can. Doesn't mean you have to go be Mel Robbins or Tony Robbins or Evan Carmichael or Oprah, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be that person, but could you help the person who you used to be? Like, of course. If you can visualize that, then of course. Well, then just understand that there are millions of people who are right now who you used to be. There are millions of people, millions, who are struggling with the exact same thing that you were struggling with, that you sitting on that park bench, that issue that you were facing. Millions of people right now are struggling with that same thing. And they need your voice, they need your message, they need your encouragement. They'll learn from you in a way that they can't learn from Evan Carmichael or Mel Robbins or Tony Robbins or Oprah Winfrey or Elon Musk or whoever. They'll learn from you because you've been through it. And so I think there are some people who want to serve just the 25 closest people to them. And there's some people who want to serve the world. And if you're watching this channel, you're subscribed here, you probably want to serve the world. You've got a big mission. Either way, we're built to serve. You want to serve. We all want to feel like you wake up today and today matters. You want to feel like the work you're going to make today matters. That I'm sitting here in a Whole Foods parking lot making this video, right? So Nina's shopping inside. I'm in a Whole Foods parking lot making this video. Why? Because I hope that it has an impact. I hope that it's reaching you. I hope that I'm not just talking to myself because I already know the stories that I'm sharing. I hope that it has some kind of impact on you. We all want to wake up and feel like we're going to do something today that will impact somebody's life, right? That's, at the end of the day, that's where you get your happiness. It's great to hit some goals and great to have money in your account and all that stuff. Yeah, it's fantastic. And you still want to feel like you mean something to somebody and that today is going to matter. So humans are built to serve. Some people want to serve the 25 closest people to them, and some people, probably you, want to serve the world. You want to have a big impact. Okay, well, how do you do it and who do you reach? Well, you're going to reach the people who currently are who you used to be. People who struggled or are struggling with the thing that you used to struggle with. The way I look at it is you're on a staircase of growth. You're on a staircase of growth. You want to get better, you want to climb, you want to keep improving. You, in 5 years, in 10 years, will be totally different again. You'll be stronger, you'll be more self-aware, you'll have more confidence, you'll have a bigger reach, greater impact. You're learning. That's why you're watching videos like this. You want to be better. You want to keep growing. And same thing for me too. I want to learn from Oprah and Mel and Tony and Elon. I want to keep pushing and getting better. We're on this growth staircase. And I think it becomes your duty, your responsibility to, every time you take a step up on that staircase, you reach back and help somebody else get to the level that you're at. So whatever you're struggling with, maybe 10 years ago you were at step 1 and now you're at step 5. So there's lots of people who are ahead of you who are step 1,000. Great. You can help people get to step 5 because most people are still stuck at step 1. So when you feel not good enough, when you feel like your mission is huge, but you're not the person to do it, when you feel like you're not able to follow through because there's so many better people out there than you, that becomes the path. Is to recognize that, hey, you're ahead of where you used to be. You're at step 5 right now, and you used to be at step 1, and you can help people get to step 4. And every time you step up, in the next 5 years, you might go from step 5 to step 25. Every time you learn, you get better, you improve, you discover a new strategy, you change your mindset, discover a new limiting breakthrough, limiting belief that you've broken through, right? You've grown. You get to step 25. Now you can help people get to step 24. That feeling will never get old. We love serving, we love helping. It's built into us. But helping somebody who currently is who you used to be is the greatest thing of all time. When you're looking at purpose, when you're looking at passion, when you're looking at deep fulfillment, it comes from service. It's not that you can't get happiness or excitement from doing something, I was excited to go get my Starbucks this morning, excited for that first sip feeling, great. But that's not lasting, deep fulfillment. Fulfillment comes from feeling like you matter, and that today is gonna matter, that you're gonna show up and somebody's gonna care. So you do that through your purpose, and your purpose comes from your pain. And the more that you can connect to the impact that it's having, your work, whether you're making videos or content or a product or service, the more you can connect to, hey, what I do actually matters. I'm having an impact, even if it's not the big impact yet that I want to have, even if I know it's this giant problem that there's millions of people facing it right now, just knowing that you did something today that mattered, that touched one person's life in a really meaningful way. That gives you the energy, the motivation, the confidence, the belief to keep going one more day, one more day, one more day. And sometimes in that one more day is the actual difference. Sometimes your message could be the one more day for somebody else, and you feeling like you touched somebody could be the one more day for you. Because the difference is just in that one more day. You've got the heart, the ambition, the drive, the love, the care, the desire to have an impact and make more money in the process. And for most people, the only thing missing is just momentum. Just not doing enough, just not believing enough, just not pursuing enough. The more you can connect to the purpose every day and feel like today is going to matter and mean something, that's when everything starts to change.
If you want another Evan rant video that just might give you the confidence you need, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
You don't know until you try. How do you know if you're going to be great at something? How do you know if you're going to love something? How do you know if this next thing is a thing for you or not? How do you know? You don't. You don't know until you go off and say yes and you try.